does. I'm just curious about that, about staggering them, maybe.
That, that's something I've never considered. It's definitely something worth thinking about. With that set up with a 3-inch pole, that is not stressing that pole, should not be stressing that pole. So it should be able to withstand a very high wind load. But I've never thought about that, and that is a good thought.
Well, I know that we went with the 3-inch square because of the Kansas winds, and it is way in the ground. Because trust me, I got to hear Mike gripe each inch of the way that he had to put that.
That's why it needs to be 1 inch closer than his mower.
I'm glad he went in. Otherwise, he'd be listening.
I'm going to try. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I'm not real concerned unless a tornado came through, which could, because I am in Kansas, that this pole's going to go anywhere. We've had some pretty strong winds, and the only thing that really moves a whole lot is the gourd.
That's good.
Okay, that's good. I'm trying to walk backwards so I can watch my signal on my screen. Can you see my gourd racks behind me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just Earl.
Do what?
Just Earl.
Just Earl. No, Earl's down there at the barn. Those, just to give you some idea about flight path, those gourds from one pole to the other are about 5.5 feet apart. Now the poles on center are 12 feet apart. So, but you see how close they are together, and those are actually, the ones in the center are actually pointing towards each other. And they don't have any problems with that distance.
Do you notice any difference in when they occupy them? Like, I'm assuming you've been a landlord a really long time, so there might be some like gourd fidelity already. But do you see that the ones that are facing each other are picked sooner or later than the others?
No, really I don't. And those, I have been a landlord for quite a while, but those 2 racks in the center of the 4 were added last year. So I don't know if you could see it in the video, but I do have one of them lower than the other one to keep the gourds from being exactly across from each other. They're actually like that.
Yeah. Well, because what I'm also thinking is regarding most probably at night, because of the way hawks tend to go after birds, that could actually work as a deterrent. Having them facing, if they were to pick a gourd facing each other with less clearance, it's right. Less flight path for an owl to come in.
Owls are they don't care. Kathy can elaborate on that. Owls don't hunt martins on the wing.
Right.
They I don't know how familiar you are with this, but they actually go perch on the rack, and then they'll take one gourd and they'll just try to beat it off the pole, flush the martins out and grab them. So.
Okay, so I didn't know they actually sat on top and then decided which one made the most noise or seemed most viable and then dropped down to it. I kind of assumed they come in on the wing and pick out of convenience, pick a gourd and then press their luck, I guess.
Well, Kathy can expound on that much more than I can. I just know what I know from watching her videos. So I had an owl problem one year, and I found the tunnel ripped off of a gourd. So I know that owl went up and grabbed the tunnel and pulled it off the gourd.
Yeah, there are a lot of different things that have been proven to be myths at my site as far as great horned owls. And I would love to talk about that sometimes. But, you know, they say owls won't hunt in the rain, but my owl has walked across my yard in the rain. And literally walked across the yard. But anyway, yeah, I'd love to have that discussion sometime as another site tour. But I think, Lisa, I think you're okay to set up another system here. I think it'd be great for you to set up another system. And what would that give you total if you put up the trios? How many cavities would you end up having?
I'd have 24 cavities and then 8 gourds.
It'd be 23 more, is that what you said?
It would be 2 houses with 6 each, so or 12. Each house has 6 cavities, so it'd be 24, correct? Or am I adding wrong? And then it would be 8 gourds. Each hole. Okay,
that would give you 32 total compartments. Yeah,
that'd be great.
Yeah, that's great.
Can I ask? I need to order, because when we left our old site, I had to cut the ground stake, the iron ground stake that holds the house, the pole. Is there something else that can be used besides ordering it from Purple Martin Association, or is it the best just to do that?
You could buy a piece of steel tubing from any steel supplier, any fab shop. I don't know the size. If you can get me an inside measurement of your pole, then I could tell you exactly what to order.
Okay. I looked, they're like about $90, and it's like, if we could go another route, that'd be awesome. But if not, then we can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you talking about a ground sleeve?
Yes.
I made mine out of PVC trim that you can buy at Lowe's. I just cut it to the size of the pole and I put it right, and it comes right in and out of that PVC trim, and I set that in the concrete.
I think what she's talking about is a ground stake. I may be wrong, where it's actually
interior.
Yeah, it goes in the ground and a piece of metal sticks up and the pole slides over the stake. Well, then
you could do that, or you could do opposite. You could put it in.
Yeah, you could. You could put it down in the socket like you're talking about. It would just decrease the height of the pole.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Louis, how deep is yours?
One is 30 some inches and the other one is 24, I think. 24? Yeah. I have 800 pounds of concrete on one and 600 pounds on the other.
Wow.
That'll hold it.
You could have set them on top of the ground with that much.
Yeah.
I dug this big old hole and I had to go back to Lowe's. I said it wasn't filling it. I had to keep buying more bags.
I know. I did the same thing. I've got 640 pounds in 2 of mine.
Yeah, I'm like, this hole's too big, I guess.
No such thing.
No, that is exactly right, Travis. No such thing as being too big.
That's right.
Well, in the house we moved in, keep in mind conditions, we're talking across the US. So soil conditions and your pounds per square inch of soil. And we got to this place and the clothesline poles were in. And when we got to a rainy, messy February and they got weight to them, me and Adriana and the kids literally pulled them out of the ground. So wow. I guess my point to the group is pay attention to your soil conditions, because we did put over 800 pounds in our new 3-inch and you can never be too big. Just watch your soil conditions.
Yeah, that's a great point, Travis. A very good point. I don't here where we live. Unfortunately, we don't have to worry about very good soil. But I know, especially in the Midwest and the farming belt, that's a huge thing.
Or even here in New Hampshire, the only colonies that are actually spoken about are in marshes and stuff. So the marsh is it's going to be such soggy ground and water that it's going to be way different than when my husband and I dug at the end of March.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yep.
Well, here in Missouri, and I'm sure up where you live, Lisa, we have a lot of rock and clay in our soil.
Yeah.
And it's pretty hard to dig. In fact, my husband says the more bang for your buck that you can get on one pole, the better, because I'm not digging any more holes. So I'm sure it's just like that where you're at, Lisa, right?
I'm in clay. I came from sand in the old site, which was very easy to dig, and this is straight up the devil's dirt clay. Yeah. Yep.
So you get about what, 20 inches and you're done?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have clay like in our ponds in springs, but around here, like every winter, we grow rocks. Yeah, I mean, you come out with a lawnmower and you have to remove rocks that have been frosted up, the heaves that come up through the soil. We grow rocks. We have rocks everywhere around here in New Hampshire.
Wow. Yeah.
And when you dig, we hit rocks. So you have to like power through them. You have to use like a sledgehammer and a stake and break through them. You have to change where you're going to put your hole.
I'm not going to complain anymore.
So Lisa, how far down do you usually have to dig? Like probably 18, 24 inches before you hit some really hard clay?
I think that the ground socket he put in, I'm almost positive was almost 4 foot. So, and he filled part of that up with concrete, of course. But I really don't know. You'd have to ask my husband. He's the one that did it. Well, and I know they did it with a machine, some kind of machine.
Wow.
Oh, now you're bragging. I'm sorry. Maybe I need to leave here because it sounds too hoity-toity for me.
Did you have to get the pry bar out, Kathy?
Oh my God, my husband and I. Let's just say it took a little bit of beer.
Yeah, understood.
I forgot to turn the subtitles on when we started, but when Kathy from New Hampshire started talking, I had to turn them on.
No, isn't that so funny? My sister moved out to Oklahoma. She's passed away since. And she used to call me and say, they can't understand me here. and of course, we're like wicked. Like if I see a Purple Martin set up, I'm like, that's wicked cool. And no one talks like that apparently out there.
Some in the Midwest still.
No. But I like it.
Lisa, do you have any other questions or do you have anything you want to tell the group?
No, I don't have any other questions. Just looking forward to the next meeting. And I learned a lot. Like I said, I've been a landlord for 12 years. And that first meeting, I learned a lot about the predator guard from you and the safety bolt. I never even knew that.
Excellent. Excellent.
Always learning.
That is awesome.
I'm really enjoying these virtual site tours, getting to know everybody a little bit more. And maybe one day I'll remember to do everything I'm supposed to do to get started. I doubt it, but just so y'all know, the first 15 minutes of this one, it didn't get recorded, so we're gonna pick up right in the middle.
And I'll tell you the other secret too. This was the second try at creating the meeting. The first one failed.
Yes, it did. Because I tried to leave the meeting, but when I left it crashed the whole thing. So.
Well, can I say something from New Hampshire?
Sure.
Supposedly, because New Hampshire doesn't have a lot of martins. And supposedly someone saw one in Ridge, which is south of me. I did email the PMCA and ask if they could pass my information along to that person, because I tried to, I guess, creep him on Facebook, and he's not a part of any of the Purple Martin sites. But I did see a picture at his place, and he lives along a fairly good-sized pond, and I could see I'm guessing he hasn't enlarged the compartment, so it's probably a 12-compartment, 2-story house that's crooked on a pole. And I don't want to like talk ill of him, but I'm just curious if he really did see a martin, because he hasn't reported any before with the PMCA. So I'd really like to talk to him about it. And because he's central and not near the ocean, which is where all the document sites are now. And then I'm also talking with a person up in Maine, and he's going to visit a site that just reported, I can't do the name, like Belfour, maybe, or something like that. And he's actually going to go up there and see this person who is a landlord that has never reported. So he does know his birds. So I'm really excited that we have them in the area. I'm fighting with sparrows right now, and I'm going to win. But I'm driving my neighbors nuts with my dawn song and all that good stuff. But I'm in it to win it this year.
Good deal. That's awesome. The sparrow problem is never going to go away for you. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I've been killing them for 19 years now, and I killed 3 when I got home from work this afternoon. So.
Yesterday I had posted about putting a trap or a cage above my not trap, but I have one of the traps from the PMCA that I bought 18 years ago, I'm guessing. And I have a birdhouse specifically for that. And I started having them go into my bluebird house, and I set up like a Scooby-Doo thing with I made myself a trap door and a line and attached to a fishing pole, and I set my garage door. It literally is a redneck like bird trap. But I caught a bull sparrow, and I was so excited. I was going to clip his wings and stick them in my cage. It's like a little small half part, can't get through. And I clipped most of his wing feathers off, because I've had parakeets before and I know how to make them flightless. And this little bugger, when I was putting him into the cage yesterday, he managed to wrestle with me, and he got out. And I think I broke his leg along the way, but that sucker flew over 100 feet up into my neighbor's tree. And
wow.
I most of his wing feathers off.
Wow.
I was discouraged. But today I caught another one, and I took all his wing feathers off, and that bugger did escape. And now he's out on my tree, and I'm going to cover up with a blanket. Right? And I'm hoping he's going to lure the ladies in.
Well, let me just tell you, that is wicked awesome.
Wicked cool. Wicked cool. Wicked.
Hey, Tammy, would you like to give her any tips on how to keep your sparrows from getting loose? Maybe.
Yeah.
Are you saying just because she's driving in the car?
Put them in the car.
Put them in the car, and then they're trapped in there until You get them.
Okay, no, I saw that Facebook post and literally I went, brilliant. That is brilliant, because I would do that. I will never have another sparrow escape because that makes me want to kill something. And I'm not. I've been a hunter. I fish. I love life. I love my animals. I have a bunch of animals, but I'm not going. I have a nuthatch pair that for the first time ever, and I saw a sparrow go over there, go into the hole. I know the female was probably inside, came out, harassed the male that did everything he could on the tree outside. It was agonizing to watch this. And I'm not cold-blooded, but I'm close to it with the sparrows and the starlings.
You'll get there. You'll get there. Don't worry.
They are the bane of our existence. That's for sure.
Won't she get cold-blooded, Shannon Poole Smith? You can just nod. Yes.
Well, I found out, and actually the man up in Maine that I've been talking to, he hasn't had to kill anything. He hasn't had any issues, but he also hasn't had martins. I did find out a few days ago he threw a slipper at a starling. That tells you anything. And he does have a friend that will take care of anything that he does catch, will dispatch it for him. So I told him my method, and I said, it's not horrible. It's probably not traditional, but it works. It works best for me. And then I typed it all out into a Facebook message. And after I wrote it, I went, oh my God, this sounds horrible.
Yeah.
But it really, to me, it worked out the best. And I saw it on one of the Facebook pages. I don't know. It wasn't yours. It was either the Wannabes or the Purple Martin group or something. And it works out best for me. So that's my method I'm using right now.
Yeah, it's the toughest part of this hobby is
absolutely
to be able to eliminate the starlings and the house sparrows and still have people realize that you are compassionate about animals. I've had the lecture before that we shouldn't be doing that, but frankly, very frankly, man screwed this up and they brought them over here and man needs to fix it. So that's my lecture. That's my short lecture about starlings and sparrows. We've got to
absolutely.
Yeah. Shannon, have you jammed up your husband's gun lately?
Oh.
That. Yes, I did. It's no longer his, but I jammed it up again. And I'm sitting here watching. You're probably watching me make faces. I'm like, oh, like I'm watching 3 sparrows right now. It's making me crazy. But I have my Haskell trap set, and I have another BB gun. It's just not very good. I don't think I could hit anything if I was even very close. I used it today at close range to kill one in a trap. But yes, I've broken it again. My uncle has it right now, trying to not break it. Or fix it rather, and if he doesn't, I'm going to buy the $129 that Greg Balance recommended to Tammy or whomever. I literally have it in my cart ready to hit proceed and buy as soon as he tells me he can't fix it. So yes, the gun saga, I can't be trusted, I guess. I need like an idiot-proof pellet gun.
Could get a 22.
Well, I'm soon to be out on 11 acres, but for the next couple months, I'm here pretty close quarters. So trying to respect the neighbors, and they think I'm crazy anyway, just with the pellet gun.
And you were getting so good with it too.
I bought a tripod, and I was in love with it. I got a male house sparrow with it, and I got one sparrow, and then I don't know what happened. Honestly, don't. Like, I stopped after I listed acting up, but I guess there's a pellet jammed in there somehow. Only me. Only me. The gun saga continues season after season.
Y'all, Shannon has the nicest gun, but I think she jammed it like 3 times now.
Yes. Like, I'm gonna quit recommending it to people because it must not be like idiot proof. Like, it must be, because last time I was new and I didn't know better, so I'll do things on me. This time I knew better and I was really super careful, and it still was very easily to break. So when people ask about a good pellet gun, I'm no longer gonna put that one out. Like, I've been really talking it up, and it's awesome, and my scope's awesome, but it's evidently easy to jam.
Okay, well, now I need to ask, which one is it?
It's a Aspen Seneca.
Okay.
If you've seen me put it on there, I'm sorry. Like I said, it's awesome. It's really accurate, but it's not redneck idiot proof, evidently.
Does it come with a scope?
No, my husband put a really advanced scope on it. Like, it's a super nice scope.
Okay.
I'll have to go look at what that is, which really makes it. It's really, really nice. It's probably like $400 gun, and I keep jamming it up.
Because back when I first was going to try to get the Purple Martins, I did it for like 3 years. And again, we're talking 18 years ago or more. I mean, somewhere in that range. The internet was still in its fledgling era.
Oh yeah, probably like
and
that.
I got a pellet gun. It's just a Chinese pellet gun, and that damn thing with no scope was so accurate, or I was just a dead eye. Unfortunately, over the years, the stock cracked, and my husband would glue it and put it back together. So, and it's one of those lever ones, like a brake barrel type, or not a brake barrel, but it's a lever one.
Here, close range, it's a brake barrel. That's what I'm using as my backup plan here.
Yeah, so it was awesome. But my husband, I told him about my plight. He's on away. I'm the one that actually posted, if anyone saw it, that my husband's in Tennessee and wanted to go and see a site down there.
Yes, I did see that.
Yeah, so when I was telling him my plight with the sparrows and stuff, he's like, get whatever trap you need. Let's figure out what gun you need. He's all for it. He knows it's my crazy bird lady from Belmont type deal, but he's all for it, and which is awesome. It's nice to have like
me too. Mine makes fun of me, but he knows it's like my only hobby, so he's okay with it.
Yeah.
And
Lisa, do you have a lot of problems with sparrows there in that neighborhood?
I hate to say it because I don't want them, but I haven't. I've only killed 2.
Okay, well, knock on wood.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I did at my old site. I killed a lot and had a repeat trap, but I haven't so far. And I don't even want to bring that up because now I'm going to wake up to a bunch of devil birds.
I want to interrupt for a second and say hi to Lisa because I haven't said hi to you. It's nice. It's nice meeting you in person.
Who is that, Tammy?
Yes. So,
Tammy, are you in your car? Are you driving?
I stopped at McDonald's because I wanted to say hi to you before I got.
Oh, thank you.
Finished driving home, and so.
I'm glad you did.
Okay.
It's great to meet you, Tammy.
Yes.
It really is.
All right.
Hey, Lisa, next year I won't let her say, I told you so.
Now, wait a minute. Don't ruin a good thing we got going here.
Okay.
That's right. We're loving it.
I forget y'all girls stick together.
I'm so glad you guys finally got to meet. That's awesome.
Yes,
me too.
And
so Lisa, do you know where you want?
We have another member that has been kind of quiet. Hi, Marty.
Hi. I'm sitting back here trying to know what to say. I live in Michigan, and I am a 5th year trying to be landlord. I have 24 cavities in houses, and then I just put up 4 gourds on a pole. I have the Troyer V trap that I have not caught one bird in yet. I have a starling wire trap that I have not caught one bird in yet. And I also have, it's not the repeater. They go in and then it drops and then they go in the middle and then you dispose of them and then you take them out of the middle and then you flip it back up again.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to bait my Troyer trap. We have a farm, so feed is very available here. Water is very available. I've put nesting material in there. It has a perch over the top, but I don't know how to get them. I don't know how to get them in that darn thing. And maybe it's the wrong season for a Troyer trap.
It's the Troyer V trap, right? The big one?
Yeah.
Does anybody here have had experience with the V trap? I think corn, cracked corn, isn't that, have you tried that?
Well, part of it is my sparrows are getting smarter because they stay in the top of the barns. And then we have cattle feeders that are open so they can just get all the corn and feed that they really want.
Right.
I wasn't sure if nesting material would be smarter, or last year I was knocking sparrows out like crazy. I mean, I think I killed like 50.
My sparrows go after my chicken feed. I have two different chicken. Yeah. Well, even the pellets, they go right in for the layer pellets. And I have two different spots where I have that. And I have a home built repeater trap out there and no one's touched anything, but they still go in. They know where the actual feed is.
Do you like put it like in a raised container, like an upside down bucket so it's higher, or?
Well, I have one rooster that's alone. I wish I could find him a home, but the other rooster attacks him, so he has to be separated. And that's inside kind of like a doghouse. And they go inside the doghouse to eat. The sparrows do. And then the other one is in the chicken coop. And they will fly into the small little like chicken door to get into the chicken feed. You know, it's one of those galvanized, probably holds 30 pounds worth of feed. And they'll go in through that, or in through that small chicken door to get into there. So I'm trying to figure out how to trap birds or stop them, but still allow the chickens to do their thing.
Mm-hmm. But that's kind of where I am. I have 2 tree swallows, 2 to 4 tree swallows that have came in today. I think I had a martin kind of stop over on their way back last year, but I don't know how to get them little buggers here. I've got the song magnet going in one barn. I've got the chatter going out the bathroom window. I don't know. I'm at a loss here, but should I wait longer? Should I have my houses all the way up right now? Should I have them down? I'm battling sparrows and starlings like crazy.
Do you have, how open is your site?
I'd like it to be more open. I have a jack pine, and then 40 feet from that, I have an old TV antenna. And then 10 feet from that, I have my first martin house. And then 12 feet from that, I have another martin house. And then 40 feet from that, I have 2 medium-sized maple trees. Then I have a corn crib to the south of that. And then I have another barn where I have my fruit trees, and I put up a pole with my gourds over there. And then I have 70 acres to the west of that that's wide open.
Wow.
So
hey, Marty, would you like to take a tour with us and do you have a phone that you could walk around with outside and show us your site?
Sure. Let's see if I can do that.
Okay.
You
would have to click the link on your phone and have the app on your phone.
Okay, through Facebook.
Yes.
Through Zoom.
Well, right. Let me see if I can.
Hang on, I gotta find my invite.
Let me see if I can send you a link through our, if you go to our Facebook page on your phone, you can click on the Zoom meeting.
I thought that's how I got into this before.
Probably on your computer is how you did. Yep. If you can do the same thing on your phone. Do you have Facebook on your phone?
I do, and I went into Facebook and I went into virtual tour site with Lisa. Isn't it on there?
On the events, yeah. Yes.
Oh, good Lord.
If I may, there's somebody else out there that I've seen who hasn't spoke up yet and has been very successful. Bill, you still hanging out there?
There's Bill, yes.
He was our original mentor as well. No disrespect to anybody else. This is a great group, but he's been a little quiet and he has a lot of knowledge.
Mm.
Art,
I'm trying. Here it is. Let's try this.
Okay. Bill is on mute, I think. Hey, Bill, there he is. We still got video.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, good.
Hey, she was asking about the V-trap. I know a lot of people use donuts in the wintertime to catch starlings in a V-trap.
Well, and that's kind of what I wondered, is if maybe that's more of a better winter trap for me than a summer trap.
Possibly, and I don't know. I lost the feed there for a minute, but a lot of people use feathers as well to attract the house sparrows into traps.
Now, is the V trap the one with like is it like a funnel trap? Is that the V trap?
No, a V trap is like a 6 foot wide by 6 foot tall.
Oh, yep. I know what you're talking about now. Sorry.
I had one of those once upon a time.
So the V trap I've seen mostly for starlings versus sparrows. But you can make it small enough for a sparrow not to get out, right?
Yes, you just have to use a smaller wire.
Right.
And that's what I did. Get on your phone. Excellent.
I think I got it.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how to make it go the other way, but
well, just turn your phone around.
Okay.
There you go.
So there's, I don't know if you can see it.
Yep.
And then there's my houses. And then there are the trees. And then I've got two, I don't know if you can see them. It's getting dark, so it's kind of hard to tell.
It looks like you got plenty of wide open space. I mean,
I think so too.
Yeah, I agree as well.
I've got,
not to mention the antenna for perching.
I've got the, these little, I can't make you see it there. Those I've just set out for the tree swallows or bluebirds, whichever. And then I've got a little place where I put my nesting material in that flat, I don't know if you can see that flat container. And then over here is, can you see what I'm doing?
Yes.
Going toward your barn or shed?
Can I ask again what state you're in?
Michigan.
Michigan, okay.
Hey, Kelly, I don't know how your phone is, but at the top of mine, because I've been like letting y'all watch my Martins instead of my ugly mug, at the very top is a little picture of a camera that has like arrows on it, which is you can turn it around to see, then you can see what you're trying to show everybody.
Are you seeing it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And there's my gourds on my rack. And then my V trap is over here.
I hear geese.
I do too.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where I am. I've got all kinds of space, but I've got all kinds of places for sparrows to live too.
You know what I was just thinking is, and sorry, I was just wondering if you could put some, it's like that wobbed up hay and any kind of scrap material they would nest make with, maybe in there too.
See, but I was hoping if it got dry, I would just put the water in there and that would encourage them to come in that way. But I guess one of my concerns is go ahead.
One tip I can give you about catching sparrows, because I have literally caught over 1,000 of them. There's always a tree or a shrub that they like to perch in. You'll see them fly out 20 at a time, trap under that tree. Instead of trying to trap out in the middle of a wide open, like that area right there, find where they want to be and trap there.
That's true. He gave me that advice last season, and I caught like over 150 in one season, like just under the evergreen trees that I saw them frequenting, or the shrubs. They've kind of gotten smarter and changed up, but I just moved my trap accordingly. Of course, the V-trap's a little harder to move, not quite so easy as a repeater or a single trap. But that piece of advice that Brad gave me last year, like just watch them and put your trap close to where you see them frequently, like where they like to go hide or where they like to go, you know, that made me really successful last year trapping.
That's really smart.
So Kelly,
it's watching behavior.
Your site looks really open. I think it's just a matter of attracting the subadults for you. And are you, do you know where to find the PMCA Scout report? I think we lost Kelly.
I think we lost Kelly too.
I can maybe find it and put it in the chat. I don't know if that'll help.
Let's see.
We had her back for a second.
She might be trying to log back to her computer.
She's back at her computer now.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta get out of here.
Okay.
There. Is that better?
Yes. So Kelly, what I was saying was, it looks like your site is actually wide open and very attractive for martins. I think your challenge is just going to be waiting until the subadults arrive in your area. Do you know where to find the PMCA Scout report for your area?
I do, and I've been watching that, the PMCA report I watch. I guess my question, one of my I don't know what to do things is, should I have my houses up now? Should I leave them down so the sparrows can't find them?
So there's a lot of discussion goes back and forth about that. There's a couple of trains of thought. One is to close your housing and wait until the martins show up. The problem with that is the house sparrows have about a 3 to 4 mile radius from their natal home site, which means they will, once you open your housing, they're going to show up. If you keep it closed right now, they'll show up the minute you open it.
Okay.
The best for me, and this is Kathy Freeze, this is what has worked for me. I always open up my housing and eliminate all the house sparrows and starlings, because it's a lot easier to shoot and trap before the purple martins get there. Now, there may be others that have a different opinion here, and you please feel free to share it, but I would much rather go out with a shotgun and knock down 20 starlings when purple martins are not here yet. But there's another old adage that says, if your purple martin housing is not open, you're not going to get any purple martins either.
Well, that was part of my concern, and I saw someone said they put clothespins over their holes. So I've done that with like 2/3 of my cavities on my houses, but my gourds are open.
And that's a good compromise, actually.
You
That's
know,
really
they
a good
got,
compromise. If you can monitor them.
yeah. And how often should I take them down? Like every 2 days and just check?
What are you checking for?
The sparrow nests.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, and do you have traps for your gourds in your housing?
I do not.
Okay, so there is something that you may want to look into. What kind of gourds do you have?
The super gourds, they don't have porches, but they have the shree holes.
Okay, so you're going to want to get some traps for your gourds and your housing, and that will help you as well, because then you can catch those birds that try to move, the house sparrows and starlings, and put those in your trap. And other sparrows and starlings, whichever one you catch, will be drawn to those that you put in your trap. Right now, they're not drawn to food, they're mostly drawn to nesting. So catch them and put them in your trap, and they'll draw others into that trap.
That's what I've been trying. I caught 3 the other day, and I didn't think about putting them in my big trap.
Yeah.
I just left them in my little trap.
And do what Kathy had mentioned earlier, clip their wings so that they can't get
all
away.
of the wings.
Yeah. Clip
all the feathers.
The wings and their tails. I clip their tails too.
Yeah, no, I believe it.
But that's just I'm not I've never been a landlord, so I don't know how to do the maintenance if I'm going to screw them up before, by taking it up and down. I'm excited for trees. I'm excited for tree swallows just because, they're here.
Right. No,
but
you won't. I tell you, what will deter your purple martins the quickest is house sparrows and starlings that are moved into your housing.
Okay.
That will keep purple martins from moving in, because subadults are very, I don't know if the timid is the right word, Brad, but they're not.
Yeah.
They won't fight for the territory as much as an adult purple martin will. So get rid of the house sparrows and starlings, get you some traps for your super gourds and your housing, and go to work, and keep your housing open the parts that you can monitor.
Well, and another thing that you've got to make 100% certain of, you cannot let those tree swallows take a gourd or a compartment on your martin house.
Yeah.
You've got to make them bond with one of those bluebird boxes before you open your martin housing, because if they do bond with the got distracted by a bird. If they I went squirrel. I don't know what that is.
Butterfly effect.
If you get tree swallows that bond with one of your martin gourds or your martin house, you're not going to get martins.
Okay. Okay, so I might want to just, because they're just finding me right now, so I may want to just shut everything up and make them get into those bluebird houses.
Absolutely, that's exactly what I would recommend. And
until they finally get their nesting taken care of.
Yes.
Do you know?
Yes.
Can you have that filament, that fishing line thing on those houses for tree swallows?
That's a Tammy question.
Yeah.
Sparrow spooker?
Yeah. It's where you use the screws and then you ride
I don't think it's recommended for tree swallows.
Okay.
I'm thinking this time of year when they're nesting, I think they're kind of desensitized, and someone just posted something about the halo and how the success rate has changed over the years.
So Kelly, you have a couple of things to do. Order traps for your super gourds and your housing. Plug the entrances that you cannot monitor and try to trap away. But you're doing all the right things. You've got a beautiful wide open site. You're playing the daytime chatter. Watch the Purple Martin Scout report and see when the subadults are arriving in your area, because those are more likely the ones that you're going to attract are the subadults.
Okay.
And
right.
don't
Actually,
get
as I said, that
discouraged.
is a new landlord last year. My whole site, and Brad can tell you, was 95% comprised of sub-adults. Like I think I had one ASY, and the rest of them were all teenagers. So, and that was my first successful year. First year really trying. So there's still to come. There's hope.
All right. Thank you. I just,
Yes.
Brad, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. I just don't, Kelly, just don't get discouraged. You live in a tough state to get Martins in.
and we really don't. I think there's a gentleman that has he's probably 11 miles from me. He has a colony there. That's about the closest. There's 3 or 4, but they're all anywhere from 11 to 15 miles from me. So I don't have a lot of neighbors that have Martins.
Kelly, what type of housing does he have? Does he have the same kind of housing you have?
He has gourds. They have gourds.
Okay.
So,
okay, but you have some gourds too, right?
And I do. That's kind of why I went with the gourds. I thought, well, they have a choice.
Right.
So
that's a good idea. Offer a variety of housing and see what they like. But Kelly, anytime you have a question, jump on and let us know, and we'll try to help you, because right now, let's see, it's April 12th. Between now and the end of May is your prime time.
Okay.
When the sub-adults start arriving up there. I'm sorry, did you say Minnesota or Michigan? It was
Michigan.
Michigan. Okay, I got it right. Michigan. Yeah. It was one of the M states.
We're just right at the state line, real close to the state line of Indiana and Michigan.
Okay.
And I've been watching people like Lansing. They've been getting some. I'm sure they're the adults, but they're starting to. Penny Briscoe, she's through the Purple Martin Association, and I've been talking to her.
Yep.
And she's had them now for probably a week or so. So they are coming. Can't you just take a little nest and bring it to my house and have them finish out over here so they know where to come back to next year?
Exactly. Kelly, do you know are the sparrows going towards your gourds at all?
No.
Okay, because here I have a tree swallow gourd that's been wide open that no one has gone for. I'm waiting for my tree swallows to return. Actually, we don't have any kind of swallow here yet in New Hampshire. So we don't have barn swallows. We don't have any tree swallows. And we closed our chimney because we used to get chimney swifts every year. But my husband put a piece of like stainless steel grating above it. So, but we have 0 swallows yet. But I have this open tree swallow gourd or bluebird gourd, but the tree swallows have always gravitated towards it, and the sparrows do not go to the gourds. And I'm wondering if it's because of the sway to it.
Maybe.
I don't know the method to that madness. I actually put up 2 gourds this year for bluebirds and or tree swallows. Nobody's touched it. Not a sparrow, not a bluebird, not a tree swallow. However, I do have a sparrow in my martin gourd and one on the back side of my house. So I guess they do go to gourds. I've got one in there. I've got my haskell trap in there right now, but nobody's put a twig in my tree swallow or my bluebird gourd.
That's really strange, because I originally bought gourds for my bluebirds and my tree swallows. This again was probably 18 years ago. And my bluebirds did not like gourds. So I ended up just taking it down and putting like a bluebird house up for them. Yeah, and that's what they've always gone to. And then the tree swallows have always gone to a gourd. And I've never had an issue with a house sparrow going to a gourd, except when I took the bluebird gourd away and I hung it up like just under the overhang of the garage just for storage.
So it was higher.
That's where, it's just didn't swing. It was just out of the wind, out of everything. And I apparently bred house sparrows without knowing.
Oh, wow. Yeah, these 2 are out in the wide open, 4 tree sparrows or bluebird. Nobody's touched it. Like I'm surprised that not even a house sparrow has touched these gourds.
I think
I almost am offended, but
It's
They
a
have
regional thing. I think it's a regional thing.
Yeah, I'm in Western Kentucky, so
yeah, every site is different. You know, some great horned owls act different, house sparrows act different, bluebirds act different, tree swallows. It's so hard to say with 100% certainty anything. But
right, and this is my first year trying to do bluebirds and tree swallows, so I'm starting out with that. So that's a new thing for me.
I think the key is to try a variety of things, really. You know, like for Kelly, she's trying to attract purple martins. Try a variety of housing. That's a good idea. You know, bluebirds and tree swallows, try a variety of housing, gourds and wooden houses and different things.
Yeah, and I'm about to move my gourds. Brad gave me that idea. I meant to do it over the weekend, but I just didn't get it done. So I'm going to change them up. They've been there about a month and it's not working. So I'm going to move them around.
There you go, girl.
Brad said.
I know.
Hey, Lisa.
Brad said.
Yes.
Hey, Lisa, thank you for starting this off tonight. We appreciate it. And boy, I really hope it was helpful for you.
It is. And it's getting cold and I'm on hawk patrol now because we're starting to come in.
All right. Have a good night.
I had to change it up with a winter coat.
Yes. All right. So if you guys have any remaining questions, let's do it again next Monday.
Absolutely.
My sister is on deck next Monday. She wants to show us her site.
Oh.
And she's in Louisiana, so, you know, there's lots of birds plentiful. Kelly, if you want us to take another look at your site, let us know and we'll set up another night with you too.
Hey, you know what was helpful for me, Kathy? When I sent you and Brad aerial, like Google Earth or map pictures of my land, and then you can mark, that was really super helpful for me.
That's very true.
Yes.
Google Maps, and then you can get into the satellite view of your site. Kelly, if you want to share that with us too, that would help.
Okay.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's been very helpful.
Yep.
I am so happy with how this turned out. When Kathy originally came up with this idea, this is exactly what she wanted to do, was to help people that are just starting out, look at their sites and try to see if any of us more experienced people, I almost called you old, Kathy, I'm sorry. If some of us more experienced people could help see and pinpoint problems that you might have that you might not even know that you have. And we've done one, we did one at Travis and Adriana's and it was great. I think was great. And this one, it's just like every time we do one, we have a little more participation. And I just think it's awesome.
It is.
So thank y'all all for coming.
I think this is amazing and I'm really excited. I don't have anyone in my area that even remotely does this. I'm talking with someone through Facebook Messenger in Maine, and besides my husband, he's my only soundboard. So this is really, really fun.
Oh, we're glad you enjoyed it.
Yep. Thank you for the feedback. All right, everybody. We'll talk with you through the week. Thanks. Bye, Adriana and Travis.
Bye.
Keep us updated on your birds.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Good luck, everyone.
Bye.
Y'all too. See ya. Bye.